Question number 11. Which law of exponents states that to multiply two exponents with the same base, you keep the base and add the exponents? Is it A, power of a product, B, product of powers, C, quotient of powers, or letter D, power of a quotient? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. Okay, my dear math learners, it is very obvious that letter C and letter D is not the correct answer for this question because the statement or the law of exponent that is being discussed here is multiply. Okay, so when we are talking about multiply, we are dealing with product. All right, so we have only A and B. But in this case, we have the same base. What you need to do is you just keep the base and add the exponent. So if that is the case, then my dear math learners, what we are talking about is the product of powers. Okay, not the power of a product. All right. So letter B is the correct answer for this given question. All right, we are correct. Now let us go to question number 12. Simplify the expression 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus x plus 5 minus x cubed plus 2x minus 3. Is it A, x cubed plus 3x squared plus x plus 2, B, x cubed plus 3x squared minus 3x plus 2, C, x cubed plus 3x squared plus x plus 8, or letter D, x cubed plus 3x squared minus x plus 2? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. Okay, my dear math learners, in simplifying this expression, we will still apply combined like terms. So in that scenario, we have our 2x cubed here. So we will find a term with x cubed. So this will be the 1. So 2x cubed minus x cubed, that would be x cubed. So all of the choices satisfy the given. All right. Next, we have 3x squared. So we'll find 3x squared, so none. So therefore, if there are none or there are no other like terms for that scenario or that condition, then you just copy. So plus 3x squared, plus 3x squared. So 4 choices also satisfy the condition. Next, we have minus x or negative x plus 2x. So negative x plus 2x, that would mean negative 1 plus 2. So negative 1 plus 2, what is the value? Very good, that is positive 1. Or positive 1x. All right. So that is letter A and letter C. So letter B is already wrong. Letter D is already wrong. Now let us go to the last. We have positive 5 minus 3. So positive 5 minus 3, that is 5 minus 3, meaning positive 2. So therefore, the final answer, the final correct answer is letter A and not letter C. So letter C is also wrong. All right. Okay, so therefore letter A is the correct answer for this problem. Let's check whether we are correct. Okay, so I hope you got that one, my dear math learners. Now let us go to question number 13. Find the product of 3a to the 4th power b squared times the quantity a squared plus 3ab minus 2b squared. Is it A, 3a to the power of 6b squared plus 9a to the power of 5b cubed minus 6a to the 4th b to the 4th, C, 3a to the 6b squared plus 9a to the 4th b cubed minus 6a to the 4th b squared, C, 3a to the 5th power b squared plus 9a to the 4th power b cubed minus 6a to the 4th power b to the 4th power, or letter D, 3a to the power of 6 b squared plus 9 to the power of 5 b cubed minus 6 to the power of 4 b squared. I'll give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. Okay, my dear math learners, if you have a trinomial multiplied by a monomial, the technique here is very simple. You just apply the distributive property of multiplication. So you just multiply this 3a to the 4th power b squared to the 3 terms. All right, so like that. And then if you encounter numbers, you multiply them directly. But if you encounter variables, then you apply the product of the power, and what you will do is add the exponent and copy the base. Okay, so we have here 3a to the 4th b squared times a. So we just copy 3 and then our a to the fourth and a squared here will be added together in terms of their exponents. That would give us a to the 6, then copy b squared. So 3a to the 6 b squared. 3a to the 6b squared. So letter C is already wrong. Okay, so we only have a, b, and d for this matter. Next is the second term. So 3 times 3, okay, just follow the arrow. 3 times 3, that would be 9. And then a to the fourth, this one is a. So there is an invisible power of 1 there. So that would be a to the fifth power. So a to the fifth, so letter B is already wrong. So we only have a and d as our remaining choices. And then for b, b squared and b, that would be b cubed. So b cubed, b cubed. All right, so still correct. Now, let us go to the last. 3a to the fourth b squared times negative 2 or minus 2b squared. So that would be 3 times negative 2. That would be negative 6. Negative 6, negative 6. Okay, still correct. A to the fourth, there is no a for this third term. So therefore, we just copy a to the fourth, a to the fourth, a to the fourth. Okay. And lastly, we have b squared times b squared. That would be b to the fourth power. So therefore, our correct answer for this one is letter A. Let's check whether we are correct. All right, my dear math learners. Now let us go to question number 14. Which method is a shortcut for multiplying two binomials? Is it A, the FOIL method, B, the vertical method, C, the horizontal method, or letter D, the distributive method? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. Okay, my dear math learners, this is very easy. Why? Because the shortcut for multiplying binomials is known as the, for other students, that is the rainbow method. Okay, now the rainbow method is basically multiplying the first terms, the outer terms, the inner terms, and then the last terms, which is an implication for the abbreviation of, very good, letter A, FOIL method. That is letter A. Now let's check whether we are correct. All right. Now, let us go to question number 15. Multiply 3x minus 2 times the quantity 5x plus 4. Is it A, 15x squared plus 2x minus 8, B, 15x squared minus 2x minus 8, C, 15x squared plus 2x plus 8, or D, 15x squared minus 2x plus 8? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. Okay, my dear math learners, we can now apply here the FOIL method. So in multiplying the FOIL method, what we need to do is this one. Okay, the first one is this 3x will be multiplied to the first term of the second binomial. So 3x times 5x, that would give us 15x squared. Okay, next is the outer term. So this one. All right, so that will be the outer terms. Okay, sorry. So 3x times positive 4, that would be positive 12x. Alright, then, since we are finished for the first term of the first binomial, we now go to the second term. So second term will be multiplied to the first term of the second binomial, which is also known as the inner terms. So negative 2 times positive 5, that would be negative 10x. And finally, we have negative 2 times positive 4, that would give us negative 8. So therefore, we just simplify this because the middle terms, we can combine like terms for the second term and the third term because they have the same variable. So therefore, we copy 15x squared, okay? And then 12x minus 10x, that would be positive 2x. Okay, that is plus 2x. Okay, so we only have letter A and C here, but the last term is negative 8 or minus 8. So therefore, the correct answer is letter A. Let's check whether we are correct. Okay, my dear math learners, I hope you got that one. Now, let us go to question number 16. Which special product formula applies to the quantity 4m plus 3 squared? Is it A, cube of a binomial, B, square of a binomial, C, product of two binomials, or D, sum and difference of terms? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. Okay, my dear math learners, in order for you to answer this question, you should know the parts and how to read the binomial. So, as you can see here, the exponent outside the binomial is squared. So, therefore, it is not a cube. So letter A is already wrong. Now, next thing you need to check is the operation. So as you can see here, it is the sum. However, this is also two terms, so that is binomial. Okay, so letter A is already wrong. Letter B, square of a binomial. So the binomial is being squared. That would be correct. Letter C, product of two binomials. Now, as you can see, there is only one binomial that we can see in this scenario. So letter C is wrong. And then letter D, sum and difference of terms. So we can see a sum, but we don't see a difference. Therefore, the correct answer for this given question is letter B. Let's check whether we are correct. All right. Now, let us go to question number 17. What is the product of 2m plus 3 and 2m minus 3? Is it A, 4m squared plus 9, B, 4m squared minus 9, C, 4m squared plus 6m minus 9, or letter D, 4m squared minus 6m minus 9? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. Okay, my dear math learners, as you can see, we have two binomials here. We have a binomial 2m plus 3 and another binomial 2m minus 3. As you can see, this one is likely the same with the second one. However, they differ in the operation. Now, there is a special rule in the sum and difference of binomials when you multiply them. Basically, the technique there is you just square the first term and then you square the last term. And then after that, you follow the operation minus. So, as we can see here, 2m, if we square that one, that would be 4m squared. 3, if we squared that one, that would be 9. Alright, so that would be 4m squared and 9. And lastly, we follow the sign minus. Okay, so the correct answer for this question is letter B. Let's check whether we are correct. Alright, I hope you got that one, my dear math learners. Now, let us go to question number 18. What is the first step when squaring a binomial? Is it A, square the first term, B, combine like terms, C, square the last term, or D, multiply the first and the last term? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. Alright, my dear math learners, in this question, it is pertaining about the FOIL method. So when you are squaring the binomial, so example, we have 5m plus 3 times 5m plus 3, which is just the same because you square a binomial, you multiply it by itself. So by doing so, what you need to do there is to square first or to multiply the first term by itself. So technically, that is squaring the first term. That is letter A. Okay, let's check whether we are correct. Okay, now let us go to question number 19. I hope you got that one. Multiply the quantity 5x minus 2 squared. Is it A, 2x squared plus 4, B, 2x squared minus 20x plus 4, C, 25x squared plus 20 plus 4, or letter D, 25x squared minus 4? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. Okay, my dear math learners, this is one of the common mistakes committed by students. Normally, when they are squaring a binomial, they just square the first term and they just square the second term and then they square the sign. That is wrong. When you are multiplying or when you are squaring a binomial, the technique there is to expand it. Okay, so to expand, how do you expand this one? So we have here 5x minus 2. So if this is squared, it means you multiply it by itself. So that is 5x minus 2. So in this scenario, you can apply the FOIL method. So that is 25x squared. And then you multiply this one, that would be 10x, negative 10x. Okay, because positive and negative. And then you have here negative 10x again. And lastly, negative 2 and negative 2, that would be positive 4. If we simplify this one, this will become 25x squared. And then since the second term and the third term have a like term, so then this will become negative 20x. And then you just copy the third term or the last term. So that is plus 4. So this will become a trinomial. In this case, it is letter B, which is the correct answer. Let's check whether we are correct. All right. Now, let us go to question number 20. Question number 20. Find the cube of the quantity 3s plus 2? Is it A, 27s cubed plus 54s squared plus 36s plus 8, B, 27s cubed plus 8, C, 9s cubed plus 36s squared plus 12s plus 8, or letter D, 27s cubed minus 54s squared plus 36s minus 8? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. Alright, my dear math learners, this might sound complicated to you because we are now dealing with cube. But remember, there is always some technique here. Now, as you can see in the given, it is positive. So when you multiply numbers that are positive, remember that it can never happen to have a result that is negative. Then any choices that has a minus, that is already wrong. So letter D is already wrong. Since this is a binomial and you multiply it 3 times to itself, if you have observed earlier, when we square a binomial, the result became a trinomial. So therefore, if we are multiplying another binomial from that trinomial, it will add another term, and that will make it 4 terms, making it a multinomial. So therefore, letter B here is already wrong. Now, if we are multiplying the first term, we try to get the cube of that one. So that is 3 cubed, right? So this is 3 cubed, 3s cubed. So 3s times 3s times 3s, that would give you 27s cubed. So letter C is already wrong. The only one that satisfies given scenario here is letter A. So that is our answer. Let's check whether we are correct. All right, my dear math learners, I hope you got some tricks in solving this problem. And congratulations, my dear math learners, for finishing the second part of our reviewer series. You are already halfway. Now, my question is, if you are trying to solve our question 1 up to 20, what is your partial score? If you find it helpful, please share it to our comment section below. Okay, now let us proceed.